my name is Brian Godawski. Back in 2012, when I was 26 years old, less than a month after I was married, I was driving in my truck, talking to my wife on the phone, and during the conversation, I told her I was seeing some blurry spots in my vision and didn't know what was going on. That obviously freaked her out. The next thing I knew, I was waking up in an ambulance surrounded by doctors or EMTs and being told that I had just flipped my truck 3 times and they were transporting me to the local hospital. I freaked out. They shot me up with some medicine, and next thing I knew, I was waking up in the hospital, not knowing what happened, but being told that it looked like I had a seizure, that they needed to do some CAT scans to see what was going on. Next thing I know, they were telling us that I did have a mass on the right side of my brain right here, that I needed to get that checked out as soon as possible. Over the next couple of days, we went and saw a doctor and a biopsy was scheduled. Once that was done, that came back and we were told it was a grade 2 cancerous brain tumor and that we would be waiting to see if any growth would occur. And if it did, they would take action. Long story short, about a year later, some growth did occur, and our new neuro-oncologist told us that the best treatment at the time was surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. After surgery, they came back and told us that it had upgraded to a grade 3 anaplastic astrocytoma, and my prognosis was around 3 to 5 years. Obviously, that was absolutely devastating to not only me, but my wife and my family and friends. After that happened, the fear and anxiety really took over my life. And I hate to say it, but I started using alcohol to suppress all of that fear and anxiety. That really put me down a bad path. And after hitting rock bottom with my alcohol use, I not only knew, but I was forced to make some major changes. At the time, I was not told of any other methods that would help or hurt my outcome other than the treatments that were given. However, I do believe switching to our new neuro-oncologist at the time really changed the outcome on things. She had a great outlook, whereas the one before was really kind of negative, and that really put us in a bad spot at the beginning. But once we switched doctors, it really turned a switch in my mindset, I believe. And after making those changes and get my alcohol use under control, I discovered intermittent fasting. And after a couple months of major success with intermittent fasting, I found myself going down a lot of rabbit holes, trying to figure out what can increase my results from intermittent fasting or the benefits of it, not only to fight cancer, but to actually live a better, healthier life all around. I was still working out every day, still continuing my full-time job. I really do believe that, that exercise really had an effect on how well the treatment did for me and my body and how I recovered. I also introduced cold water therapy into my regimen. Then after that, I really started getting into running and fasted running, and I really upped my vitamin and supplement game. The doctors were actually amazed that I continued to work out, which was kind of odd to me at the time, but I knew that I needed to do that, so I did. As of today, I continued to intermittent fast, work out, ice plunge, take a cold shower every single day. I do that not only for the overall health benefits, but to also limit my stress and learn how to control my stress. I eat a high protein, low sugar diet. I take all of my vitamins, all of the supplements. I could go on and on about the supplements, but I take all of those. one important thing to me is I do try to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. It's a little tough with 2 kids, but I do my best to get that 7 to 9 hours. As of today, I'm sitting 10 years after first finding out that I did have a brain tumor. Looking back at it now, it's extremely frustrating that these methods and unconventional treatments weren't given to us when we first started. If I would have known what I know now, I would have implemented everything and more to increase my chances of surviving and living a healthy lifestyle. You know, if I were to give anybody advice today that just got a diagnosis or just struggling at all, is to be your own advocate. Do your research, find out the things that work best for you, experiment with things safely, and ultimately find those things that work for you and give you the energy to have the luck that you want.